I've noticed a bit of a phenomenon that I wanted to talk about. I might need the help of Adam Sachs to jump in here. Adam, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you, Conan?
I'm good. Adam's one of the incredible brains behind our podcast, and it's good to have you here, Adam. Adam, I've mentioned this to you, and I think you've noticed it as well. We'll have these comedy guests come in, like a notaro, or most recently, Patton Oswalt. And they see me, they come into the room, we are about to like shake hands or hug. Hey, Patton, hey, Conan, hey, Tig, it's really good to see you, it's really good. And just as that's about to happen, you say hi, and they look over at you, and you say, Matt Gorley, we worked together on Thubadub, some other podcast that you did.
Yeah, Thubadub.
Seriously, you can give me some of the names of the podcasts. What are they?
Matt's podcast? Yeah, so he's got Super Ego.
Uh-huh.
He's got James Bonding.
Uh-huh.
I was there too.
Yeah, I was there too. Yeah.
Another one where he talks about people who had small parts in big movies.
Yeah. So, I mean, the fact that you're continuing to list them means there's just
there's more. There's one about the Friday movies.
Yeah.
No, Jason Voorhees.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah. I thought you meant the next Friday.
But anyway, I'm trying to establish this connection so we can have this podcast, and people come in the room, and then they see you, and you go like, oh, yeah, I know you from, Fridays, Mondays, or, the Chili Beef Stew podcast where we talk about chili beef stew, and they're like, oh, right, and you're like, yeah, I remember the time that, and you're like, yeah, and I'm standing there, with my dick in my hands, because I'm thinking, what am I supposed to say here? I don't know what you guys are talking about. And suddenly this vital connection that I need to have with a Patton Oswalt or a Tig Notaro or one of these comedy luminaries is busted irrevocably because they're there and you're taking them down this winding path. Remember on Hack Flap? No. On Hack Flap, where we take flapjacks and we put them in hats and we talk about it on a podcast.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Pistol Shrimps he does, and that's a real one too.
What is it?
Pistol Shrimps Radio.
What's Pistol Shrimps Radio?
It's where my friend Mark McConville and I do play-by-play of women's rec league basketball, but I don't know anything about sports. So,
right. Yeah. Okay. These complete, Club Bubble. Remember when I was on Club Bubble and you came on it, and we pretended to be aliens that go back in time and fix people's teeth with a bonding method.
Another good idea.
Yeah, I mean, these are infinite. You were involved in an infinite number of podcasts.
Yeah.
What is that all about?
I don't know. That's a good question.
And I will say, you're quite famous to these people. I didn't realize I was working with someone who I think is clear makes most of the podcasts in America and is in them. Every time, and I'm always like, oh my God, and always looking back at you, Adam, because it's always a 10-minute conversation before we can put our headsets on, because he's always saying like, yep. Oh, and I also worked with you, Patton.
No.
Yes.
Let me defend myself.
Lamina Homina Domina.
No.
Lamina Homina Domina, what's that? Well, that's the one where we pretend that we're in the Senate in 1850. But really,
I like this
we're
one.
Cookies made out of chocolate.
No, cut that part.
In Matt's defense, David Sedaris was a big Super Ego fan.
Yeah, and I'm never schmoozing with these people. They look at me like, where do I know you? And I feel awkward saying, I just want to say, here's where we met. And then they start speaking about it. I don't feel right about like furthering this conversation with them, and I don't want to take away from your time with them. So
why is it that you're often wearing a T-shirt for the podcast? You have a T-shirt that says, remember me from Super Ego?
No.
Yes, you do. And you've worn that. Remember me? From Flapstibble. Remember me from...
What's Flapstibble?
Oh, Flapstibble. Oh, my God. It's such a ridiculous podcast. It's one where you only pretend... You remember this? It's you and Ackerman pretend that you're in a hot air balloon and that you're investigating the weather outside of Spain.
Sounds pretty good.
And you just improvise it.
I like that. The one I'm most interested in, and I would love to do with you, is the Senate in the 1850s. Now, if that isn't a gold mine, come on, that would be brilliant.
I'll do it only if I can take my own life at the end of the episode.
That's a hook. I love it.
Yeah.
Never been done on a podcast.
It's a one and done podcast. Well, I started this out as sort of a what the heck's going on.
Yeah.
But it's clear to me that you are a podcast superstar and I was not aware of that. And I'm realizing that maybe if you're cool with it, when guests come in from now on, you could be wearing a bag over your head.
Absolutely.
And then we remove the bag after the interview's over. So that then they can say, hey, I know you from Wrist Toffee.
What's that?
Wrist Toffee. That's one of your best podcasts.
Yeah.
That's where you and Middleditch and Schwartz dip your wrists into toffee and then pretend that you are plow horses living during the revolution in France. And it's a podcast it's burning up the charts. It's on the Hap Jabble network. You should check it out. You can get it wherever podcasts are sold.
Have Sona and I told you about the podcast we want to do?
No, what's that?
Don't bring
Just
this
do
up.
it.
Okay.
Do it.
No.
Do it.
Especially this week.
Do it.
Well,
do it.
A listener will have a problem with a telecommunications company like they have a problem with their Verizon bill, and we call Verizon for them and get it settled.
Okay, can I tell you exactly
This is the worst timing for this.
It is amazing that you
pitch,
said
'cause-
this. Amazing. Hold on. This is absolutely true, and you didn't know. I didn't know that you were going to say that.
Yeah.
I didn't know this was
That's
going to
true.
happen.
That's true.
I didn't know any of this. You just said the most incredible thing. Day before yesterday, I'm in my office, and I hear shouting as if an intruder has made it into the Warner Brothers building that we occupy.
I already know I'm going to love Sona more.
And
because
is trying to kill Sona, and she's fending them off verbally. And I come out into the hallway to find out what's going on, and she is in a full-on battle on the phone with someone from Verizon.
God bless you, Sona.
And it is Verizon, and she is arguing because and I'm on Sona's side with this, Verizon mistakenly dinged her credit when they shouldn't have. It was a mistake. They never notified her. And she and her husband are interested in getting a home and getting looking into a loan. And she's got this ding on her credit. And I listened to her. She fought this person on Verizon, then fought another person, then another person stayed on the line. And it went on for maybe an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours. And she was yelling so much that I was like creeping past her, assembling my lunch on my own quietly, trying to find the stuff that I don't know where it is. She's yelling. People are closing their doors. I eventually went to another floor because I couldn't conduct the business of making a show while she was yelling. You were heroic. First of all, you were fantastic.
Oh yeah, I was crushing it.
You're my hero because they depend on you quitting.
Yeah.
They
and
depend
you know what?
on
She
that.
would not quit, and she kept saying, "You have the power." You acknowledge that you probably didn't call me or you never emailed me. You have my email. You never. And the person was clearly on their end saying, "Well, I'm sorry." They do that fake empathy thing. I can't help you. And she said, "No, you can change this. You can do it." And it turned into a pitched battle, but the result was that the producer, Jeff Ross, was hiding in his office with the door closed. I was hiding on a different floor.
Good.
Poor David.
Yes.
Hopping, who sits next to Sona. When it was all over, he looked like a child who had watched his parents beat each other to death. He was shaken, like a shaken animal.
The world needs this, and I tip my hat to you, Sona.
Well, Can
we use this to fix your Verizon bill?
I think that I would be more into talking about this if I had won that dispute, but I did not win.
You did not?
No. After I had to write a letter, and I included a letter I wrote them last January that I had already written them. So it's an ongoing thing.
Do you want us to get involved and
Let's
use
do
the
a
podcast?
hashtag fix Sona's credit and send it at Verizon.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the next steps are. But I sent it certified mail. They get it tomorrow.
Oh.
Verizon, you're getting a letter.
Yeah, man, they're
on
quaking in
April
their boots.
18.
They're quaking in their boots.
I love you. They should be, because the power of the people, good for you.
Well,
Yeah.
hold on. Now, let's just, as any good journalist, let's examine the possibilities of the other side. Is it possible that you're in the wrong, Sona?
It is possible that
Okay.
but here's the thing. Here's where it gets frustrating for me. It's $129 that I owe them.
What if we did this? What if you called Verizon and tried the phone call? Because you didn't really identify who you were last time.
No, I don't like doing that.
Hold on.
Doing that. I don't like playing the Conan card.
Watch this. You call, I'll act it out for you because this is exactly how it's going to go. Hello, Verizon, this is Sheila. I'm recording your phone call because it has to be monitored. How can I help you, please? Yeah, hi, this is Sona Movsesian. May I have your information, please? What's your number? Okay, it's 3. Thank you very much. Okay, I see your record now, Sona. Well, how can I help you? Well, I just wanted you to know that I'm having this little bit of a credit problem. Well, I empathize, and I'm sorry, but we can't really help you. I know. But you see, my boss, Conan... What? My boss, Conan. Wait a minute, did you say Conan? Yeah, my boss, you mean Conan O'Brien? Yeah, my boss, Conan. Well, anyway, I just wanted to talk to you briefly about people getting on.
Hello. Is this someone who works for Conan O'Brien of podcast fame and 25 years on the air, groundbreaking comedy? How can we help you?
So anytime you want to do that, be my guest.
Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend with Sona